Okay, amazing, my beautiful viewer. We are back again, and as usual, most of these times nakuanga na Dr. Mercy, so she's so familiar to you guys. She's not a new person, but to a new person, a new subscriber, and a new viewer. Can you kindly introduce yourself to them, to the new subscriber and the new viewer? The rest wanakujua.
Hello, Dr. Mercy Mutahi here, and I'm in YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, anywhere you'll find me as Dr. Mercy Mutahi.
You talk about the mobile Kenya clinic, mobile doctors underscore Kenya clinic.
Okay. There's a company called Ashake Medical Solutions. That's where all the solutions are, including the mobile doctor Kenya.
And what we talk about here on her channel, we talk about most of preventative care in terms of your health, because we want you to make a proper decision that won't lead you to any problem. But for us here, again, we talk about how can you know unless Alan explains to you, because Alan, it doesn't mean that I know everything, but today we just dig deeper. The world is doing 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. And it's not just in Kenya, but it's a menace that is eating up each and everything in this world. And sometimes I'm made to feel like most people don't really understand what gender-based violence is. Have you ever heard of such a cases within your circle of work or your friends? And how did you address it?
Okay, mainly, let us explain now what gender-based violence is.
Yeah.
It's any
Oh, I should not just make an assumption everyone knows it.
everyone knows, because we are used to saying GBV out there in the medical field, and every other people hear about GBV, but do we really know what it is? Yeah. So that you can identify if we are
in it or not.
Yes. So it's any act, a harmful act based on the gender, whether I'm a male or a female, any harmful act.
So you beating me up, that's GBV.
That's
because you're
GBV.
causing pain to me.
Yeah, because it ranges from emotional, that is abusive
words that you're using.
Definitely. From emotional, there's physical, there's sexual.
So physical ni mangumi, pa.
Yes.
Ama mapanga, okay, mapanga.
Then there's sexual, the ones people now know.
But do people really know? Do people know there is sexual abuse?
Yeah, people now.
A few people, not everyone.
Now GBV is related to that. Sana. When people hear about GBV, they just think it's about sex. Now that is part of it, as it's sexual abuse. Then there is physical, as you say. There is emotional. Also, there is financial. Yeah, all those things are GBV.
Yeah,
the gender-based, any harmful act.
Of course, when they are done to harm you or to make you feel any pain, that is when she says we call it GBV.
Definitely.
And when she talks about the physical, everyone knows that is a woman beating up a man or a man beating up a woman for whichever reason.
Yeah.
For whichever reason. Whether I have wronged her beating me is not a solution. Whether she has wronged me beating her is not a solution.
Definitely.
That is gender-based violence. And we should condemn it and we should stand against it, because we've had cases in the area where in the same area where many people have died because of the battering.
Yeah.
And some have shot themselves, some have committed suicide, maybe because of what we would call the emotional violence.
Yeah.
You've heard people talk about emotional violence, yeah? So what does it really entail?
So on the emotional part about it, like for example, people in marriages are going through this. You find that in as much as you want to contribute, you are rendered either you're not stable enough, or you are a weaker version. So either
women will always have a way of defending themselves. It's okay.
So you find that either I'm abusing you or I am insulting you. That verbal. Yeah, you're nothing.
Someone telling you you're nothing, you add up to nothing, even without you, I'll continue living.
Yeah, emotionally draining you.
Yes, emotionally draining you. Yeah, emotionally draining you. Then those abusive words, like umeshindwa tu ukitusiwa wewe sijui ni umbwa, you're a dog, you're a what, you're a what.
Even women abusing men.
Of course.
Yeah.
And that is what we don't talk about it because we defend you guys a lot. We don't
Like
want to.
even a man will come to you and they show you they like I've been assaulted. You can even see through the text. I've been physically abused. Then you tell them go report, and they'll be like, do you know how it feels when a man go reporting to the police station that they have been abused? Like, no.
Of course, most of the police officers want.
Beings.
Yeah, most of the police officers will laugh at you, especially if they are men. Wataona ni kama bibi yako amekukalia.
I think we should create awareness. Because these are the people we're supposed to go to
for
first,
help.
yeah.
But now,
now
the people
if
who
they are
turn
laughing
against
at
us.
you, it's ironical, by the way.
It is ironical theoretically, but
Yeah.
practically to them, they feel like, hey, like me going to report that my wife has beaten me, and I find a female police officer, she will look onto me as a man who is very weak. Like, how can a wife
I think
beat you?
we should create awareness that it's possible either gender can.
Actually, there is that
Abuse.
creation, awareness creation that you will do, but there is that cultural understanding that people have.
But the cultural norms also contribute to this GBV
Now
a
that
lot.
is the
Now,
thing.
when a man doesn't want to report or a man is hiding that I've been abused, that is due to cultural
Of course, the
norms.
culture demands me to be as strong as
And you'll
possible.
end up getting depressed.
Tukilia tulie machozi ikienda ndani tusilie ikitoka nje. That's what the culture tells me. Nikianza kulia machozi ikitoka nje, I'm a weak man.
Or there's this thing that a man is supposed to provide, yeah?
Yeah.
And then now when a man is down financially, a woman starts abusing you, insulting you, bad words.
Hapo ndo
They
penyewe
cannot
sasa.
even
Hapo ndo penyewe.
submit
And then
you.
you're even denied the conjugal rights because you've not provided.
That is GBV.
Unakulaje yenye ujali.
That is GBV. That is GBV. And we should stop it.
Yeah, of course. Really stopping it. We can only reduce the number of.
You know, if we create awareness, we can literally reduce to including those.
I hope
zero
so.
GBV.
I hope so. But it's kind of hard because the way people look at it differently. There is that art of you or me talking about it and creating awareness. But when it comes to my own place, me practically doing it becomes another challenge. And we call about the support system around us that can help us overcome some of such challenges that we literally don't have that support system. And sometimes it takes a toll onto someone and unafika level like I cannot talk to anyone. If I talk to these people, this is what they will judge me. They will tell about me. If I tell that person, this is what they'll say about me. So the best thing, let me just
The
keep quiet.
stigma associated
Yes,
to it.
there's a lot of stigma associated
And that's
on
what
gender-based
is leading
violence
people to depression by
and
the way.
deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've been talking about that
Both emotional and
both
physical.
physical. Then we have sexual.
Yeah.
Where we both have the rape and the defilement. I know most of the people miss on the two, and they want to. If that such a case happens, they generally call it rape. But I feel sometimes they are making mistakes because there is a rape and then there is defilement. Defilement is for anyone who is below the age of 18 years.
Yeah.
Then rape is for someone who is
Above.
above that. So when you're talking about such, you need to, you need to be very much specific. And an underage cannot consent for sex.
Definitely.
So whether you come and tell people she consented or he consented, no, that was out of a power play thing. You used your power to lure her into or to lure him into the action. So that is still gender-based violence. Yep.
And people should learn. People should learn that underage defilement.
Sure.
When there are cases of defilement, they are way too serious.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's just us to keep the community, as far.
And they're not just girls who can be defiled.
Of course,
even
boys. There
So-
were mamas who are defiling boys too.
Yeah. So people who you surround your kids with, you should really be keen.
You want to tell me there are mamas who defile boys too?
Yeah.
How now?
Boys also get defiled.
There are mamas outside here
Even-
who are after young boys.
There are mamas who can defile them. There are men who can defile them. So
And even there are these cases of house managers that we have in our homes who are also doing the same to the young
Yeah.
boys and all that. So it's just us creating the awareness and trying to make sure that people gets to see whatever is happening around us and try to change the norms of the community. But now, again, can we really change the norms in a community? Because it's something that we found happening and we've lived through it. Does
It's
it mean that we should
difficult, but
continue?
we can try. We can try as much as we can to air it out there that these cultural norms are
Not right.
not right.
So, what are some of the cultural norms that you think are not right?
Like those men are supposed to be the providers. Men
Now, they will
cannot
tell you
be
that's
weak.
biblical.
Man cannot be.
It's biblical. A man is the head of the house, and he should be the provider of the house.
What if that man is down? Does
No.
it mean that you won't eat because, or you won't get any other provisions?
There must be a provision in the house. So either
Exactly.
way, either way.
That's why this thing about women empowerment and engaging men and boys should come about.
What-
Because you find when you engage men and boys, the reason I'm saying men and boys is because I want the boys to keep learning that when you're becoming a man, this is expected of you, and also this is expected of your wife. Okay, like if when you get into marriage, empower each other. Don't just say a woman should stay in. A woman should be a housewife. That is also a cultural norm. A woman should be also a
But
housewife.
a home belongs to a woman, not to a man.
A home belongs to you more than the kids. And now when the kids goes away, you're left
Alone with your
alone.
husband.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So at the end of it all, let's engage our boys, let's engage our men, and let's empower our women. Because what if you're a man and you're providing, what if an accident happens to you and you become incapacitated? Does it mean your woman or your kids will die because there is no provision?
But in most circumstances, in such a cases, there are women who will be there for you for some time, but they won't be there for the longest. Like a very good example, a very small example of women will be there for you for forever until death do you part. But most of them, once you're incapacitated, you cannot do anything completely. They can persevere for some years, but not forever. But there are men who will always be there for you.
What if
forever.
the situation was changed? Anyway, back to GBV.
We are still on GBV.
Let's empower.
But again, there is
Let's
a
empower women.
lot of empowerment on women. There's a
That's
lot
what
of
I'm
empowerment that
saying.
is
We
working on
also
men,
engage.
and there is less empowerment on men.
We engage the boys and men.
Now that is the key thing. We need to engage boys and men and try to tell boys and men there's an alternative way of solving things. Because for personally, I feel there's been a long term empowerment, negative empowerment of women, and I don't think if it's negative or is the interpretation of the information that they are given has a problem, because you can tell them to do the right thing, but they'll end up doing something that is not what you told them and all that. And I believe it's becoming more of a danger with the women who are saying that they are more independent, Miss Independent women, because they are earning better and living a better life than their husbands, and they feel like they no longer need their husband. Wait until there becomes a problem with the children. They start talking about men being, how do you people say it? We are.
Don't stereotype.
Oh, sorry.
That's another thing.
Sorry.
No stereotyping.
Sorry, Daktari. So, Daktari said stereotyping is another way of emotional GBV, by the way. Yeah. Some will say, we are whatever fathers. What fathers? There's this like fathers who are not there.
Deadbeat.
They call us dead. You see, my minds are very positive. I don't think about all these things. That's why I'm forgetting them. They start talking about deadbeat fathers who are not there for their sons and daughters. But remember, when you are with them, they say they no longer need a man because they can take care of everything. Now, if you say you no longer need me because you can take care of everything, why are you calling me a deadbeat father? You left the house and did not send you out. You thought you can, and you left and went.
But okay, for the peace of mind, there are those people who will leave and never look back. But if a person looks back, it's also okay.
I'm not saying it's not okay. Look back with a positive language.
Definitely.
Yes, not with a
because at the
negative
end of the
language.
day, it will be all about the other people involved.
Sure. Yeah. So it's always good when we look back. it's always good for you to look back in a positive way, but don't look back in a negative way. Don't get to me by calling me a deadbeat father or that idiot or whatever name you'd call me. Get back to me referring to me as the father of, like, your son wants to talk to you and your son misses this and your son would like to talk to you, your daughter would like to talk to you. I believe that would be a better way of approach and all that. Then there's the economical, the financial abuse, where I feel like you've not done me what I want, so I deny you some other financial provisions and all that. Until you bow down to me, then I'll be able to give it out.
Blackmailing someone, yeah.
You're blackmailing
around
someone.
financial,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, what do you have to say about that?
What I would advocate is be supportive to one another at the end of the day.
Yeah. So give whatever you can give at the end of the day. We are all human beings and we need that help.
And also, when it comes to sex and defilement, let's not say that there will be stigma associated with it. Let me not report.
Now, how do I say that I've been raped by a woman? Like, literally, how do I say that I've been raped by a woman?
Now that is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And when we engage you and we tell you that it's okay to report about it, because can you imagine, you don't report that person, and then they go do that to another person, or to your father and to your son, and to, like,
I believe it's happening. Like, it's so rare for a man to report that he's been raped by a woman. By the way, men are also raped by women. It's not just men who are raping women. Women also rape men. And it's rare for a man to go report that he's been raped by a woman. Of course, hata ukienda kurape, I've heard of a story where a man went to report, and then to whoever he reported to, alimwambia simulisikia utamu nyinyi wote. Simulisikia utamu. So they are looking at the utamu, but they're not looking at the mental health of this person. Because it's a scar.
Bad.
Yeah,
That's bad.
It's a scar that has remained in the life of this person, and that scar might be there for forever.
Yeah.
So in the health world, what are some of the cases that you receive regularly? More of physical, sexual, or mental?
We get mostly physical and sexual, cases. So on sexual cases, there are protocol or procedural way we go around it.
Sure.
And then also for physical, there are ways we go around it. And number one is about reporting. How do we go about reporting? That's why it's really disheartening to hear that a police officer or a person of the law will laugh at you.
Yeah, as a man.
As a man, because something was done, something harmful, an act of harm was done to you. They are the ones supposed to advocate for safe places, yeah? So, all safe space. So when I come reporting to you as a person in the law, like, try to direct me
to where get help.
Exactly. Not just, don't laugh. Sure.
I'm sorry for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what are some of the procedures that you guys do when it comes to defilement or rape?
So when it comes to defilement, we have a rape kit and we have a trauma kit around it. So the trauma kit is whereby maybe it's a physical, you have been injured, you've been beaten, and we are going to, the first number one is reporting, but we'll handle emergency first, and then we write a summary, go report, and then we come to write for you the P3 form, and once you report, it's just a way of showing that you reported and this matter will be
dealt with
later. But now when you're in the hospital, like if it's a bite wound, if it's a physical wound, we're going to either clean it, give antibiotics, give tetanus, and take care of you, and analgesics there so that you don't feel pain. And then we're going to do follow-up. When it comes to sexual offense, we check you, we take samples. Also in physical, we also take pictures, so that you can be able to show that.
That's before and after.
Yes, the before and especially the before, So before we treat you, so that we are able to show that this happened.
The photos of this as evidence.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is what we want.
Yeah. Also in sexual, we ask for permission and we tell them the reason we are taking. There are people who we're going to treat and they will be like, I don't want to report because I feel like I'm the one who took myself there. especially ladies, you find that a person has invited you and you decided to go. And then you're like, when now you have been, the act has been done to you, you just want to be helped but not report. But you are leaving those offenders out there to act or to harm other people. There's a sequel. Yeah.
Anasema alijipeleka kwa mdomo ya simba mwenyewe.
Yes, but do you know how many people will be harmed because you didn't bring that offender to light? So, like, when we are dealing with, we encourage them. Like, it's good to report. It's good to continue with this case. Even though it's emotionally draining, it's actually mentally draining. We tell them it's good so that you're able to help another person. Okay, and we also, they seek counseling. We tell them to seek counseling so that at least their mental well-being can be at a better state.
And finally, as we cannot address all the things on there because we also want to have a conversation with you in the comment section. We would like you to tell us more about the experiences that you've had in that area. For us to know what do we really deal with, because over here we're just talking about each and everything that happens all along. So what do you think the community should do, the entire community should do on this?
I think the entire community should embrace that these things are happening, and if we do not stop them, they will escalate. Our men are not safe, our boys are not safe, our children are not safe. So, and I'm not talking about this so that I can now demean the woman empowerment. Yeah. So, and also women do happen, but there is a lot of women empowerment whereby we are leaving the boys being engaged. So let us learn to appreciate all of us, and as we empower women, let's also empower men, and let's stop the stigma that is associated with GBV. That's all I can say for now. And in the comment section, remember, right, boys, men, get into the comment section and let's discuss this further on what you need to know, or what you need to learn on how to go about it. And we are not weak. When we report something, we are not weak. We are just stopping a lot of sequential things that will continue.
And we will make sure that we keep private your identification, that no one will ever know. But if you really want to engage us on one-on-one on such a platform, on our platforms, like where we're seated, you like to sit on the other seat and tell us your story, you're very much welcome. You can meet us on all our social media platforms. That is Alan Hoy and Mercy Dr. Mine is Alan Hoy on all social media platforms, and she is Dr. Mercy Mutahi on all social media platforms. Remember, there is a mobile doctors _ Kenya, where she's part of it, and you can also reach them. That is, you just go on your WhatsApp status, then you type out mobile doctors _ Kenya, and make sure you follow. It's just like any other channels that you follow on WhatsApp, and you'll be getting more information from that. If you have any question to ask on that, you can DM anyone in that group. I'm also part of that group, so we'll be there listening to you and trying to give you the help that is needed. I'll say this one. For the community to be safer, I should be the first person to make the community safer. Number two, knowledge is very important. Knowledge or awareness of what's happening is very important. That is the only way we can know how to mitigate other issues that might be coming in. And number two, if I know the source of the problems that I'm going through, it's easy for me to do what? To find a way out that. But if I don't know, then that'll be a problem. And as we empower women, we also need to empower the boy child, because if it's the boy child is the perpetrator, if the boy child is the perpetrator in this case, if we give him the information and the knowledge, he will stop being the perpetrator.
Definitely.
Yes. And if the girl child is the perpetrator, if we give them information, they will stop being the perpetrators. That is the only way we can do it. How can we know unless someone explains us? And once it has been explained, we can make better choices in it. Bye. And please don't leave without subscribing. Love you all.